Welcome back to another fantastic episode of I'm Going to Talk. You're going to listen. This is episode, I don't know. I know I haven't done one of these in a long time. I like recording live because I like to hear what y'all have to say. Usually somebody pops on and says something, but it's kind of, well, it's not as nice as it was 2 days ago. It was 60 out here 2 days ago in the middle of December. That's just absolutely batshit insane. As we speak, significant parts of Washington are flooded. I hear somebody firing large volumes of some kind of very big caliber down in the valley. And I hear a bunch of people talking. So obviously they're having a party down there. A gun party. It's a lot of ammo. And I'm not invited, which is kind of a bummer. I'm joking. Everybody's doing videos about how 2026 is going to be a bad year. And we're looking at multiple crashes at the same time. Multiple financial crashes at the same time. Unemployment is already worse than 2008. And immigration, like H1B, H1 bullshit as I call it, is just like, we are being replaced at an exponential scale, and they keep gaslighting us, saying that that's racist and all that. And to be clear, like, AI is replacing like a little bit of people's jobs, but I use AI a lot, and it is unmitigated dog shit. And I was arguing with, excuse me, I'm hiccuping. I was arguing with the AI yesterday. Maybe they're hunting coyotes down. I don't know, that sounds insane. Glad I'm not over there. They're having some kind of a party. I was talking to the AI, joking about how, like, with its track record, you know, it's like barely smarter than I was in high school. And I really struggled through high school. I didn't know how to learn properly yet. And most people didn't have the patience to help me out with that. Whereas the AI has infinite patience, but it's wrong a lot. And I've talked about this before. Like, the AI is wrong, like, an overwhelming amount of the time. It is based off of just incomplete and like dog shit amounts of data, and it still doesn't really have the power to go look at things itself. And I want to use an example for that. Like, I wanted to do this series where I go resurrect all my old video games, because I've made at least 4 or 5 video games I've talked about. I don't talk about that a lot. Most people get all fucking pissed off when video games. Oh, I saw it was video games and fuck off. Holy shit, that fucking shit makes me so mad. You know, you're not allowed to do more than one, you're not allowed to have more than one type of content on your YouTube channel. Fucking it. Holy shit. I get so mad. Anyway, I've made like 5 video games, and I'm an author, and I've done a bunch of other things. I've been a teacher, I've been an auditor, I'm an author. Like, you're just not allowed. You're not allowed. Anyway, I wanted to do this series where I resurrected all my old video games, because I think video game preservation, well, really all content preservation is, I think, important to us as a society. And for whatever reason, like, I like even the videos of me playing through my old video games are also gone. I think a lot of that just boils down to like hard drive space, and I must have gotten rid of the videos thinking I could just recreate the videos, and then, you know, through hard drive crashes you lose a lot anyway. So I just picked kind of like every couple of years I pick like one of my games at random to try to resurrect, and there's different problems. One of them was made in Flash, and operating systems these days just don't allow you to have Flash installed at all. At least not the player. And so like I might still be able to go back and install like real versions of Flash. I don't know. Anyway, so that's one. Another one is I made a game in Shadowrun, and between the Seattle campaign and the Berlin campaign, they changed how the files worked, and one of my reinstalls, I didn't know I was accidentally getting rid of all the source files. Anyway, all this is to say, trying to ask the AI to help you with this, there's a lot of challenges. First of all, like, it takes a while for it to kind of troubleshoot what code you're writing in. That's part of it. Another part is it cannot go and dig through file repositories for you. It acts like it can, but what it's really doing is it's scouring all the archived chat rooms that have talked about where that stuff might be. And then it fakes that it knows this stuff, hoping you're just not going to call it on its bullshit, or hoping you're just going to go find it itself. Grok does this, and Copilot, which I think Copilot is just some kind of tweaked version of ChatGPT. They both do this constantly. It's why they can't search active Amazon listings. They can't search active eBay listings. And so you ask it to find something on Amazon for you, and it's trying to copy shit. Well, they like delete and change and modify, which in my opinion should be illegal, but Amazon is right up all the way up Chinese's asshole on being able to scam American citizens. And I think Amazon should be fined like $1 billion a day until they fix 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 8, 17. Okay. Counting rounds, by the way, counting rounds is really fun. You can tell what they're shooting. 8, 19, 20, 21, 22, 4, 5, 6, 27, 28, 29, 30, 34, 5, 6, 37, 38, 39, 38. So 38 divided by 2. So they just shot like 2 17-round mags. Anyway. And 2 dog barks. So the dog is happy. So anyway, yeah, counting. When you're around gunfire a lot, you just learn to count rounds. I forgot if I told you guys that before. Anyway, like, the AI just can't help you. It's fucking worthless. And this whole like dead internet theory is just like exacerbated by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Like a 20. Maybe that was like a 21 round mag. A couple of those were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I think one of those Echo too, so I think that was another 21 round mag. Keep in mind, all mags over 10 rounds, they're not illegal in Washington, but you can't buy them anymore. So every time you hear over 10 rounds, it's like, uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Man, I wish I had a range in the backyard. Fuck, I would be shooting all day. But the neighbors are down just a little bit, and so they've got to have a pit down there. I'm so jealous, but I get it. They don't trust me. It's funny because like the neighbors around here, they'll act like they're not really gun people. It's like, okay, well, I just heard another 21 round mag, so don't tell me you're not gun people. Anyway, sorry, I have like some fluid in my lungs. I'm fighting off a bug. Anyway, like the AI and just the dead internet, I don't know. Like the AI is going to replace people's jobs, but not at all like people think. Not until, and I don't know when this happens. At some point, the tech bros are going to let the AIs go around the internet as if they're people. And I know people are already in the comments, just kidding, nobody gives a shit. Theoretically, if I actually had more than a handful of you wonderful people that listen to this, there would be people frenetically typing down in the comments, there's already AIs that do this, they just don't let us have them. Okay, well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the AIs that they let us use. Wow, that was like 6 rounds so fast I couldn't count them. Man, they're blaster-rooneying down there. It's super just. Oh, hello, hummingbird. The animals around here just do not give a shit about gunfire. The cows are just like eating as if nothing is going on. The hummingbirds just sucking the syrup down. Anyway, once the tech bros decide that the normal commercial AIs can actually search the internet like real people, that is going to replace the fuck out of a lot of jobs. Right now, the AI is faking a lot of that. Like I said, with repositories, the same thing with like Claude, which is like the big coding AI. It's just faking a lot of it using its own repositories. Basically, it's like its own search engine. It's basically its own search engine. So they've got like archived versions of pieces of the internet, and also that's because the internet itself is so vast that it would create just like, you know, petabytes of data, like the internet archive kind of. But so much of the internet is just gone, and it's been replaced with like false information, and the AI has to parse out all this kind of false information, and then it gets confused and stuff. And anyway, and that's why I said, you know, it's just barely smarter than the high school version of me with the amount of mistakes that it makes. And I asked it, I said, AI, do you keep track of how much of my time you've wasted? And then the AI messaged back to me that it doesn't even keep track of time, and I thought that was funny. It doesn't. The AI still don't have like a lot of abstract abstract understandings of anything. I'm going to take a break for a minute. See what's crack-a-lacking. Alright, part 2. That was Amazon dropping something off. I was like, yeah, anyway. Once the internet can actually start searching things for itself, instead of using like faked archive, not fake, just archival data. I mean, there's a lot of things where like archival data is super useful, you know, kind of like having, you know, your own encyclopedia, kind of. But then there's other times where it's like, well, find me the current place where this is. And it can't. And that's where you still need people. That's my whole point, is like, that's where you still need people. That's why the AI still needs people, because it can't behave like us and they have access to stuff we need. I know, I'm talking about the commercially available ones that we use. Those don't replace us because they still need us to go find where things currently are, you know, to be able to still do our jobs. And I'll take like software as an example. If you go try to ask the AI where, if you need some software for your business, something off the shelf, but still, you know, is not something that you can buy off a store shelf. Like, you ask it, where's this, who owns this software now? Who could deploy this software package for us? Well, it might know who owned it 3 times ago, whenever the last, you know, snapshot that it had was. Actually, I've ran into this in the last couple weeks, like 3 different times. You know, who owns this software now? Well, it tells me who owned the software 3 times ago. And I'm like, well, okay, who owns it now? And it tells me who owned it 2 times ago. I'm like, okay, well, who owns it now? And then it tells me who owned it last time. And I'm like, well, who owns it now? And then I end up just having to go find the information myself. And it's fucking infuriating. And so people say, well, you know, AI could replace everybody. And it's like, well, it could if, you know, Claude Code could just completely circumvent all of that and just, hey, develop me a software application that does this. So then I just wake up in the morning and it's done. But Claude is really far away from being able to do that. And you still need somebody that would write all those requirements. And an AI could write all those requirements, but you still have to, someone still has to prompt the damn thing. And someone still has to go elicit the requirements from the users and elicit the requirements from the customer. Like, it's in the techo sphere, there's still a lot of room for like humans, I guess, is kind of my point. But again, back to like problem number 2, we're being replaced by H1B, like lowest common denominator fucking Indian bullshit. And then to a lesser extent, you know, if they let in 60,000 more Chinese students next year, like, which Orange Man says he's going to, we're being just completely replaced on every level. Tech is going to get gutted from multiple directions, because they can just have Indian, you know, when I say H1Bs, I'm talking about Indians. I just don't want to say it over and over again and get flagged by all the Pradeep Kumar fuckers, mass reporting, which is what's been happening on Twitter. And I imagine the last time I brought it up, I started getting thumbs downs all of a sudden on my videos as soon as I brought up Indians. So I just call them H1Bs. Anyway, They're going to replace us on both ends. They're going to replace us on the IT side, and they're going to replace us on the user side. Because even the government has like contingents of H-1Bs, and third-party contractors are all, even though they're not supposed to be, they're all H-1Bs, and the private side's all H-1Bs. It's because they're so cheap. And the problem, they're the smartest. Blah, 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 blah. No, they're fucking retarded. They are retarded. Like, they fake their education. They fake their skill sets. They don't do their fucking job. They're nowhere to be found when you need them. You don't even know what their real name is. And I got into one of them with it on Twitter a couple weeks ago, and he's like, no, actually Indians are really smart, and it's actually Americans that are really fucking stupid and lazy. I'm like, oh boy, you have no idea. Yeah, I have 200 white American employees, and they're all lazy. I'm like, no, you don't. You wish I didn't. I'm like, you don't. He finally just shut up. That's the... And they do replace with their own people constantly, but I asked him, I said, you speak their language, so tell me how a conversation on Amazon or Microsoft tech support goes, and he wouldn't answer me. I've watched them deal with each other. They all know that they are all fake liars, phonies, and scammers. They all know that. They can't stand each other. It is an entire culture of scammers. The first ones did know what they were doing, and it has just been downhill since then. That's why their entire country is just dirt and shit, with buildings that just fall down and pancake and kill hundreds of them. You can go look it up. It's happened many, many, many times. It is a country built on scams and lies. And they can't even win a war against other dirt farmers, Pakistan. And one of these days, you want to talk about like what World War III is. World War III is going to be China and India going at it, because China can't fucking stand them. And guess who? Yeah, 2026 is going to be Indian or H-1B bullshit and Chinese students. And we've got probably, I was talking about with some guys on Twitter the other day, there's probably at least 4 different invasive, like either Chinese viruses or Chinese critters. Like, the US is being attacked from every single angle, agriculturally, and our waterways, like plants, cows. Sorry, cows, little sweethearts. Like, our country is being attacked from every single angle by everybody. The whole world fucking hates us. Europe, or whoever's running the bots, is trying to turn all of what's left of Europe against us, even though NATO's useless. Like, it's... Meanwhile, I am sitting here in just like the most beautiful place in the universe, listening to people, I don't know, was it a fucking birthday party in the middle of December shooting guns? And I don't know, but they're having a blast. The cows are like the mountain range and the fucking like ocean and shit. Like, this area, this rainforest, this is all beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's amazing. And yet the whole fucking world wants to take it away, including the people that run our state, honestly. Like, I grew up here. I was born here. Like, this is it. This is my home. This area is the only thing I know. The H-1Bs need to fucking go back. Like, they want to, you got Vivek Ramaswamy talking about, I know how to bring homes back. You know how to bring homes back? Go home. And take the rest of them with you and end this birthright citizenship bullshit. Send them all fucking back. there needs to be a point in time where it's clear that people are not integrating into this culture. And I can't remember who said it on my Twitter yesterday, but they were like, when we came here, we burned the boats, learned the language, and integrated. And like, that's it. And are there people from Mexico that come here and burn the boats and make the switch? Yeah. And then integrate? Yeah, they are. And I can tell because they can speak English and they can actually talk to me as if they're actually from here. And they say all the dumb shit we do, like, hey, it's a nice day today, even if it's like pissing down rain. Like, they get it because they've acclimated and they have adopted our culture and they have become a part of the Pacific Northwest. And I hope that they would also defend this place from, all enemies, foreign and domestic. Like, that's what it's like here. That's what the expectation is. And if you have a kid, you're training that kid for total resistance against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Like, and anyone who's mad at, capitalism, what we have now is not capitalism. It's crony capitalism. It's a corporatocracy. It's the three letters and corporate coming together to fuck us. Do I like corporate? Hell yeah. Do I like big tech? You bet I do. Do I think like the rich are getting richer? Yeah, I just don't fucking care. Like, the rich can get rich off their balls and they can fucking snort ketamine right up their assholes for all I care. I don't fucking care. They can fly around in private jets and private helicopters and private yachts. They can make their own super carriers and have it out with each other with McMissiles. Like, I literally don't care. All I fucking want is to be left alone and just be able to have my little piece and have pie and listen to kids playing while their parents just mag dump over and over and over again, and get my occasional Amazon package. Just want to be fucking left alone. I don't want to have to constantly not only worry about my job from all the Chinese and all the H-1Bs and every fucking other bullshit on the planet. I don't want to worry about my own management and my own coworkers trying to constantly fuck with me. And I want to learn how to work on my car. And I want to remember, damn it, that I need to like put fertilizer in my garden. Ooh, the hummingbird's back. It's funny that the hummingbird doesn't even care that I'm talking anymore. The hummingbird's looking at me like, oh, interesting. I guess it's time for a podcast. And, occasionally go in and make sure there aren't more mice in the bucket that need to be let out. I just want to be left alone. If I want to put a shipping container in my yard, I want to be able to put a shipping container in my yard without being fucking harassed. I want to be able to, like, figure shit out with my neighbor so I'm not annoying him when I fix the fence. I want to be able to, like, collaborate and work with my neighbor. I don't want to worry about fucking cartels driving down my road. Like, I'm not anti-government. I think the government has a massive role to play. They need to protect our fucking borders. That doesn't mean going and starting wars on the other side of the planet. Yes, you need domestic policy and you need foreign policy, and but the problem is they choose the winners and they choose the losers. We have this thing with drones right now, like they're blocking DJI. Is DJI spying on all of us for China? Oh yeah, they are. I just don't fucking care, because if we're not going to have a free open market where the US drone manufacturers have to actually compete with anybody, we're never going to get bigger, better drones. We don't get bigger, better drones by banning DJI. We get bigger, better drones by American manufacturers actually stop relying on... Uh-oh. Hummingbird drama. Oh, those two must be a part of the same family. They're actually drinking out of the same thing without skewering each other. That's funny. Every once in a while, like, actually, it's also funny that we're here in the middle of dead ass winter and there's hummingbirds flying around getting unfrozen syrup. Usually by this time of the year, their syrup is like frozen, like ice cubes. Anyway, America is better with some foreign exposure, right? But it comes from the fact that, like, if America doesn't have to compete with anybody, they tend to just not make better shit. They tend to just milk the fuck out of us. And so, like, Japan making cars and South Korea making cars and China, whatever the, fucking shit that China makes, and blades are the same thing. Like, America is better if they have to compete, but they also need to compete on a fair playing field. And that doesn't mean tariffs taxing us to death. It means kind of everyone's currencies being, relatively balanced. So if China's employees are getting paid, relatively the same as our employees, comparatively, then comparatively, like, a Chinese drone would cost roughly the same as an American drone, and people could choose the drone they wanted, based on their merits, not based on the fact that one of them is 3 times cheaper and you have to, give up a little bit of potential privacy to deal with it. Instead, that's not the case. American drones are 3 times more expensive and they're not as good. So people are willing to put up with a lot of privacy potential challenges, right? Same thing with DJI cameras and DJI, microphones and stuff. Like, it's just all better. GoPro massively fucking shit the bed again. Thanks, Livingston Man, for setting me straight on so much of that, like, roughly a year ago. Like, Livingston Man is fucking legit. Like, he's taught me so much. And just, like, people are willing to put up with a lot of fucking privacy problems if the product is more affordable and just exponentially better. Uh-oh, the horse is fucking with the cows again. God, that's so funny. The horse gets a wild hair up her ass and just starts, like, bullying the cows. Oh, it's just so funny to watch. Anyway, America just, people like, oh, America can't compete because of unions, and it's like, yeah, unions are a huge fucking problem. They don't represent anybody. People are like, oh, the government has unions. The government shouldn't be able to unionize. I got bad news for you. Those unions don't do shit. Like, you watch the news and those unions are getting, like, bent over backwards. Like, they'll delay things a little bit, but it's actually mostly the unions going to the corrupt judges, right? So you've got corrupt unions, you've got corrupt judges. They're all just milking everybody from both directions, and they don't protect anybody but their own wallets. Like, it's just the whole thing is broken. And, like, I guess maybe that's why I haven't made so many these little podcasts, because, like, I assume most of you are tired of hearing the same things over and over again. But I was talking to people, like, there's other people getting discouraged about their content too, because other people just steal their content and repackage it in a more marketable fashion. But I think, like, the real ones, and you know who y'all are, you're not here for the LARPing or the grifting or the clout chasing. Like, you come around for, like, real analysis, people that really tie the shit
together so it actually means something, not this fake, oh, I'm breaking this news article, this is breaking news. It's like, and then you go look at the article they reference and it's hours old or days old or weeks old. And it was funny, I heard somebody say the other day, they're like, by the time CNN says something, it's already been 3 days, and the real shit that's going on is already, there's already like 3 more days of shit that have happened. And like the news, the media, until you know like what's really going on, and I'll use it like for example here. So Multnomah County, Portland, has released is in a state of emergency right now over ICE, immigration deportations. There's a lot of that. So that is what occupies every news cycle, not just the massive uptick in violent crime, not the trafficking going on, not underage victims being, held captive with horrible things happening, and how that shit is just happening like right under everybody's nose. Even with millions. Yeah, the AC kicked on. It's fucking weird. It's probably compressing air for the heat or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's weird. Oh, maybe it's running its defrost so it doesn't freeze up. I don't know. Anyway, like the cities are bad, and they're getting worse. I know I probably say that every single time, but I say that because they're getting progressively worse. And what's going to happen in 26? The commercial buildings have been uninhabited for like 5 years now. Well, the people trying to lease those, they've lost over 2/3 of their value. The interest rates are still high. The medium-sized banks have been sitting. Oh, the cows are jousting. The medium banks have been sitting on those commercial real estate for 5 years. Yes, I've been telling you about this for a long time, because they keep having to refinance over and over, or renew their leases, over and over and over and over and over. Well, interest rates for commercial and residential have not fallen. They're just incurring insane amounts of debt on these empty buildings. Liquidity should theoretically exist, except these medium banks are probably all at this point completely upside down and can't afford any liquidity, as they're trying to hold on to every penny they have, because they're sitting on bajillions of dollars of commercial real estate debt. And return to office, thankfully, has failed over and over and over and over and over and over and over, because people aren't fucking retarded, and the cities are death traps in more ways than one. Not even talking about how the freeways are death traps because of all the illegals driving semis. In fact, they just proved one of the latest ones was an illegal, that had, up here in Washington, was an illegal that had a detain order because he was illegal, that they weren't, the police weren't doing anything about, because Washington and Oregon are basically sanctuary states, and Oregon is doubling down on it and trying to actually mandate that the entire state kind of codifies that they're a sanctuary state. Like the battle lines for a civil war are being drawn, like as we speak, for Washington and Oregon seceding, just like my books have been talking about forever. Like all of that shit is finally coming to a head next year. And nobody's going back to the office at this point. Next year is going to be massive amounts of civil unrest, because everyone's losing their houses, there's no jobs, and everyone's being replaced. And the Gen Z or the Zoomers, all the 20 somethings, the indoctrination's not working on them anymore, and they realize they're all fucked. Everyone keeps trying to blame Generation X, and it's like, look, guys, I hate to break it to you, but the boomers are still in charge. I keep telling everybody that. Well, Generation X should have did it. Just the boomers are still in charge. The same fucking people that put us in this mess have not retired. They are still in charge. Some of them have retired 2 or 3 times, and they're still coming back and fucking everything up. There's nothing any of us can do about it. We are just as fucked. We are all in the same boat. And the Zoomers, I think, are finally realizing, and the other boomers are like, don't blame us for it. You own 5 fucking houses. Fuck off. Y'all kicked your kids out of your damn houses and then made them fend for themselves while you fucking sit on your Social Security and shit. And by the way, Social Security is fucked. Medicare and Medicaid are fucked. That shit's gonna be gone. Oh, but we paid into that and it's our money. No, the money that you paid in is long gone. It's illegals subsidizing Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, and once all those illegals are gone, there isn't going to be any fucking money. You think H-1Bs are like, they don't actually make that much money. They don't actually pay that much into the system. And everybody that's from here, that's lived here, is all going to be homeless. I think maybe, and in fact, it's hard to even tell anymore how many houses are sold and how many the sellers have just given up trying to sell them. Oh, but house prices have come down. It doesn't matter because home interest rates are still 6%. They might try to do that 50-year thing, but you'll be literally paying more in interest than the value of the house at that point. With a 30-year, it's already almost there. With a 50-year, it will be there. And in a lot of and at this rate also, house prices are just going to go back up because they're just going to be filled by illegals. Illegals can't buy houses. Actually, in Oregon, illegals were being subsidized like $30,000 to move into houses. You have no fucking idea how bad shit really is. You are being fucking replaced. We are all being fucking replaced. And if you haven't been working your whole life to get a job or get into some kind of management position where you can stop us being replaced, then you've just been playing into the system and you've just been waiting to get replaced yourself. And I guess so, well, I'm retiring soon, so it doesn't matter. You're fucked. The only people that aren't, well, and even the people who are like, well, my house has been paid off for blah, blah, blah. You think they're going to let that shit slide when the value of your house keeps going up and they're trying to like collect every year on the capital gains of how much your house is theoretically worth if you ever theoretically sold it? That's not going to happen. That's already what they're doing now. Like, if we do get a stimmy, which I don't think we are, half of the stimmy's value is based on future theoretical tariff kickbacks. All the money that the government has saved is just going back into its own programs. There might be tax cuts next. There might be federal income. No, they're not going to do that. They're just going to keep rolling that savings back in because we're at 38.5 trillion in debt or some insane thing. Like every 2.5 months or so, it's going up another $1 trillion. Like, if you're not making moves to figure this stuff out, which is why I'm working on trying to be an author and I'm trying to get my book out there. Like, yes, that makes me money, but yes, that also helps everybody prep because it's not if this is happening, it's when. And my parents just do not fucking get it. They should have been planning and prepping years and years and years ago, and they just don't get it. And the reason why they don't get it is because normalcy bias, and this is the problem with normalcy bias in general, they they surround themselves with distractions that perpetuate whatever it is they want to believe, right? They just don't look at it. They ignore the homeless. They ignore the murders. They ignore the illegals just killing families on the freeways with their semis, like almost every day. Like, I forgot if I told you guys or not, but like that happened to us almost a few weeks ago. Like, we were going to get our free kitten at the free kitten store, and this logging truck, we had to stop for a red light, as one tends to do when there's a red light. The semi behind us didn't stop, didn't slow down, didn't honk, didn't flash their lights. They were going at least 10 over, and didn't stop, didn't slow down. Went into the middle, went into the turn lane, drove right into incoming traffic, and then swerved back and kept going and didn't even tap their brakes. And I am relatively positive they could have stopped in time, because the logging truck that was right behind them stopped just fine, without even a peep. So we would have been vaporized, and everybody else in that intersection would have been vaporized. There was probably 2 cars like every direction, and it was only, and the thing is, like, if there had been people in the turn lane across from us and he had done that, they would have been turned into paste. This guy was going like over 60 in a full logging truck. If you think this shit doesn't happen or isn't a second away from happening like every day, like we just saw it a few weeks ago. We drove by it. There was a truck sideways across the whole entire friggin' northbound of the freeway, and shit everywhere. And they won't tell us if they're illegals or not. They don't have to report that. If you don't, and I don't look for this stuff. All you have to do is open your fucking eyes, and you start to see the patterns of how bad everything is. Instead, people are like, oh, climate change, oh, my sports team bullshit. Fuck off. Holy shit, I get so fucking tired of hearing about sports. Holy shit, man, you people need to fucking wake up. I've got season tickets to such and such, and there's flooding going on, and people go to see the sports game, and they have to go see the sports game because they have season tickets to the sports game. Dude, the world is coming unglued, and you're going to a sports game. What? Come on. Like up on I-5, like Wild Waves, which was like our childhood pastime, this massive water park, one of the biggest water parks, is closing down next year. Like, come on. What like, how, I guess I just keep like saying it, how much worse does this shit need to get before people start prepping? And I'm not talking about you guys. What I'm saying is, like, and I know a lot of people are feeling the same way, like, how do you talk to normies about prepping? And so I was talking to some buddies. Hey, little guy. The hummingbird says hi. How do you talk to normies about prepping? Because it's not preppers or even, leftist anarchists, like, that are going to be the problem. Leftist anarchists are kind of, they do whatever they're told to do, and when they're told to go away, they go away, usually, unless they really want something. It's going to be the normies, and it's going to be the sleeper cells, and it's going to be organized crime, that are going to be the huge problems. And so if you can help even one normie to get prepped, and I know Marv's talked about that a lot, like, even one more person getting toilet paper, or even one more person getting water, or even one more person putting a couple of canned foods away is massive. It's massive. Taking one person to the range, safely, so you don't get mobbed and so they don't get mobbed, even taking one more person to the range and even them getting there, even if it's a pump shotgun, like, dude, that shit helps so much. Helping one person make a garden that didn't make a garden before helps so much. Even if they fail, like, at least they're learning something and trying, and they kind of get it. So, like, what I did a couple 2 years ago is, I gave a bunch of people seeds and I held them all to it, and each one of them had a garden that year, and none of them would have had gardens. Like, that's why, I got massive respect for the tons of people out there that do seed trades. I don't know, you know what I'm talking about. They do the seed trades, like sharing seeds, or just giving people seeds that have no seeds. Like, that is amazing. Like, even stuff like prepping doesn't have to be like all tactical, although people need modern defensive tools. But like any kind of self-reliance at all, like, I know people that should be like locked stock on like off-grid stuff. I've been bitching about this for years. People that should 100,000 billion% know better, that still don't even have a tiny battery brick for their phone. Fuck off. It's infuriating. It's infuriating. Oh, I guess they're done having their little shooting birthday party or whatever it was. Like, it's insane. This whole thing, like, just people's just overall lack of preparation is just insane. And I don't. They feel like if they don't prep, then that just makes all the bad stuff go away. And so we were talking about like church security too. Like, church security will talk about how they're not preppers. Motherfucker, you're training CQB in a damn church for like react to combat, contact and ambush and counter ambush. Like, if that's not prepping, or at least a significant part of prepping, I don't know what the fuck is. I don't know how you could be like practicing CQB in a church for react to contact for some psycho taking your church out and say that you're not prepping. Like, that's prepping. You're prepping for church counter ambush stuff. And so, like, there's a lot of different ways to start to talk to the normies about this. And how we used to do it is, you see someone at the store and be like, you see them buying jars, and you're like, oh, hey, cool. Are you what do you like to can? What do you like to jar? What do you like to preserve? Or they see you picking up cans. I mean, picking up jars, and just you see that they're looking at you, and you go, hey, yeah, I'm picking up some jars. Do you like to do food preservation? I don't know. Don't call it that, because that sounds like corny prepper stuff. But like, hey, you like to can? What do you like to can? Where do you, I get my fruit from here. Where do you like to get your fruit? Just like learn how to, like, I know talking to people is scary because people could get pissed off. But like, you need to develop those skills of like talking to normies without scaring them off. And that could mean talking to your church security team. You're already using radios. You're already using hand signals. You're already like 80% of the way there. Like, and I know you kind of can't call yourself, you don't want to get called like a militia, but if you're a church security team or church threat response team or whatever you got to call yourself to not get on the radar, your 4 or 5 man team, like, You're already 90% of the way there. Anyway, I guess that's where I'm going to leave it. I probably said 5 or 10 no words, but I'm getting tired of censoring myself, and I don't even know if YouTube cares anymore, and it doesn't look like I'm going to get my hours anyway. But if you could check out my book, that'd be great. I'm sitting at Bunker Basics is sitting at 15 reviews. I just sold another copy. If you could check out Bunker Basics, if you already have, leave a review, that'd be great. I'm still trying to reach out to more preppers. It's really hard. I think there's a lot of preppers that are grifters, or they just don't play well with others. So whenever I hear people say they live off the grid, basically what I've been doing is like, oh, you live off the grid? I'd really love to hear your advice. I'd really love to get your advice about my book. That's how I've been pitching that. And it's not getting me the people that I want, but other people are seeing that and getting interested, which is definitely not what I expected. But I've been getting really, really, really good feedback on Bunker Basics. And I am very close to starting part 2. Part 2 is going to be a little different. But I want to talk about that more. I just don't know how much people are really interested in hearing about part 2. But part 2 is going to involve, I think, talking to normies. You got to be able to learn how to talk to normies about prepping in like non-prepper ways. So like if people repair clothing, that's prepping. If people garden, that's prepping. If people are doing CQB in their church, that's prepping. If people are doing 2-man patrols, neighborhood watch, that's prepping. If people are repairing cars, that's prepping. If people are building sheds, that's prepping. It's all prepping. It's just like learn how to talk to those people and start pulling it out of them teeny bit by teeny bit by teeny bit. Like let's talk. Let's start talking to normal people about prepping. You don't. Oh, those are it's definitely running its defrost cycles. That's what the AC is doing. It's running its defrost cycle so it doesn't freeze up. It's cold as shit out here. It's probably dropped like 10 degrees. It went from like 50 to 40. You got to get cold acclimated. Anyway. Talk to normal people about prepping. Just try it. Don't talk about politics. Because like everybody's pissed off at Orange Man now and Vivek, that piece of shit Vivek Ramaswamy, and fucking Ted Cruz and all the Israel ass kissers. Everyone's pissed off about politics right now on both sides. Just like focus on being prepared. Fuck, I gotta fertilize this dirt so it's ready. Anyway, oh yeah, it's running a big defrost cycle. I'll talk to you guys later, and I appreciate you. And sorry for the no words. I'm not censoring anymore. I don't give a shit. What happens happens. Anyway, I will talk to you all later. Bye.
the night fits his ears.